what we've all been saying today is we don't know what's going to happen. And I think that comes from ownership and the GM not being willing to say what's going to happen. If you look, you look at Detroit, David Dombrowski, the GM, said, look, we're going to reboot this thing. Everybody knew they were, and he waited a while to say that, but they knew at that, everybody knew at that point they're going to trade Price and they're probably going to unload Cespedes, their fine power hitter. And here, you know, Wall always plays things close to the vest. No question, Mr. Kessling's been too involved with the management of this team. Most franchises don't get good until the owner steps back. The idea that you can rebuild and still be good while you're rebuilding, it's not going to happen. That's the Ken's point, and I think that's the mistake this franchise is making. One or the other, fellas. Either you're in it to win it or you rebuild, and you can't do both, and they doggone better be rebuilding, because if you look at Cueto being gone, there went the ace, and those guys just don't come along.
I think the only way you can do that is if you're like the Rays or the A's, and that you have such a good, strong pipeline of young players
and they don't.
that you can say, all right, we'll deal this one spot here because we know the guy that we have coming up can fill that spot for $10 million less and can do the same thing. Sort of like when the Reds let Arroyo go because they had like Cingrani and other young guys, and they're like, you know what? We think we can plug someone in who can do just as good a job as Arroyo for $10 million less.